This techno revolution was actually first brought together by a fax machine.
Yeah, fax machine, yeah. Before we met Warp, we'd already released, I think it was 6 records on our own label, which was called B12 Records. In my flat, I used to have a fax machine behind one of the sofas. That was the extent of our business. There was this thing that just said, oh, there's a meeting of electronic musicians. When we got there, there was us and Black Dog were there, Cabaret Voltaire was there, a guy called Gerald was there. It was like the who's who of who's making electronic music. And that's when we met Rob.
There were 3 founders, I believe, to Warp Records. The 2 sort of guys that were interested in music were Steve and Rob. And Rob Mitchell had a particular interest in our music. So he kind of approached us directly, and we had quite a relaxed, if you like, relationship. It wasn't a business relationship really at all. I remember reading an interview with Steve and Rob years and years ago, and they said, well, they were hearing all this music, and it kind of didn't fit on an EP. It fitted more in an album where you would sit down, put it on, and listen to it from beginning to end, and it's not necessarily music to be danced to, but it could be, and that was artificial intelligence. Electro Soma was part of the artificial intelligence series. The first in the series, I think, was Aphex Twin, then there was Autechre, Black Dog, and then B12.
I remember Mike phoning me and saying, Rob wants an opening track for the album. We're getting it cut like tomorrow or the next day. And so Soundtrack of Space, which is the opening track on Electro Soma, was just written absolutely at the last minute in a matter of hours. In the first week they released Electro Soma, I remember talking like 30, 40, 50,000 copies going out the door, and we were like, what? We did artificial intelligence, then they offered us a 6-album deal. Again, it was another fax. It was like a 6 or 7 page fax.
We went back to Warp and we said, if we sign this deal, what happens to B12 Records? What happens to this label that we've spent the last 3-4 years or whatever doing something with? And they said, no, that's where's to stop. Everything has to stop.
Used to sell our records off the back of a van, 1,500 copies if we were lucky, and now we're looking at this thing for like tens of thousands of pounds. And I think we just end up one of these artists that are signed to a label and don't do anything. So we didn't sign this, we didn't sign it.
And we said, what happens if we don't sign this? And I think they said, well, okay, we'll just do it 1 album at a time then.
That's right, yes.
And I said, but can we then keep our label? And they said, yeah, you can do whatever you want at that stage. So at that point in time, that felt like the sort of win-win situation.
And actually recently I found that contract, and I thought, I'm going to laminate this for posterity, and of course I put it through the laminating machine
and it went black. That was great.
So that's gone, which is a real shame.
Intelligence.
But yeah, so...
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah, what a mug.
And now with this 25-year anniversary of artificial intelligence, obviously the re-release of Electro Soma, but we're also releasing Electro Soma 2, which is, if you like, another collection of tracks from the similar time frame. This is not new material, this is a little bit of history, and obviously now artificial intelligence is almost embedded in the history books of this type of music. It was brought to the forefront by a little independent label who had a record shop in Sheffield. But obviously slowly but surely it sinks in, and you realise that, yeah, okay, what we've done here, these albums have had an influence.